Hello there. Monday again. Mike and I are down at the shed. We're going to start with wiring the lights on this back box. Mike has bought some new tools for inserting the wires. We actually got two different kinds. There is a tool designed to insert the wire without the use of the little white caps that we have in this package here. And we're going to do that first, and then we're going to come back behind that and add the caps later, because when we use the cap tool and try to force these caps on, it ends up breaking the tool. And so we're going to use a tool that doesn't do that. So that's where we're going to get started this week. Give me a second to get my tool loaded in my thing here, get some wire out, and we'll start going. Okay, I wanted to just show you guys how this new tool works. It looks almost identical to the other one. It just has a little piece of plastic on the inside that pushes down on the wire, and these line up right with the outside of the wire. So you just line up your wire on here, set this over it, push down, and you're done. And it works great. So I'm gonna move you guys back so you can see the whole board, put you in hyperlapse, and I'm gonna work across the board, putting on the signal wires, which is the center one here. We'll come back and do the power and ground wire after that. I had a couple of problems. I broke a connector here and here, and we'll probably just replace these lights with new ones, and I'll punch those down. And we have two, this one here and this one here, that don't have connectors on them at all. But they are the right size for what we need. So off camera, I'm gonna solder on 4 connectors to go on here, punch these down, and then I'll come back when we're ready to start running the power wires. Okay, I have fixed those broken connectors and soldered on some connectors for the ones that were missing the connectors, and it's all wired up now. So now we're going to start doing the ground wire and then the power wire. So anyway, I'll put you guys back in high speed, let you watch me do the first one, and then I'll just turn it off because that'll be boring enough for one day. Well, you guys have probably seen enough of that. I need to splice these 2 wires together, keep on going. Mike has started putting the caps on. So anyway, there'll be more of the same. Once we get it all wired up, we'll hook a tester up to it and see if they work, and I'll bring you back to show you that. We finally got the wiring done, and there were a couple of bad LEDs that we had to replace, but we got that all done, and it's all wired up, and I've got a little test program running in here, just flashing through the 4 colors just to see what it looks like. And from the front here, I can only spot one problem. It's a minor problem, but this bulb right here is missing red on one of the LEDs. Yep, it's just a red that's not working. So that's a bad LED that would need to be replaced. And there's one right there that's only one of the 2 LEDs is working at all. So we can swap those out with good ones in just a couple of minutes and get it working, but we thought we would show you this. We've got a little bit more time to work today. Probably going to start the wiring on the play field itself. But I'm probably not going to record anymore today, so this is going to be it for today. So thanks for watching, guys. Hello there. Going to do a quick introduction. This is the following week. We're just going to continue on and merge these 2 weeks into one video because we just didn't have enough content last week to make a good video out of. And so we're going to continue on working on the Sexy Girl machine, continuing to do lights on. We finished the lights on the back glass area, so we're going to start working on the lights on the playfield this week. But I do have a couple of quick things to show you guys before we start the work. The first thing I want to show you is this back box. Mike picked this up off of eBay or somewhere like that. It's got a reproduction translite for it, and then the back box. He doesn't have any playfield or anything for it. He just thought it was kind of neat. And one of the things that is really neat is that the mechanical score wheels have flat sides. I haven't seen that on any other table. So let me see if I can get in here a little bit closer. It's kind of hard to see on video, but they're definitely flat as opposed to round like the Bally score wheels are. So I thought that was really interesting. But we got one other thing to show you that Mike got, and that's this table right here. And let me back up a little bit. This is a Williams Lady Luck table, and it is in really good condition for an old mechanical pinball machine. And it's got a really unique play. Actually, it doesn't work. So we're going to have to figure out what the rule set for this thing is. More than likely, we'll do like we've done before and rip out all of the mechanicals and put in a computer to control all this, but we don't know how it plays. If you look down here, you can see it says dealer score, dealer card score, and behind there you can see that it has a 17, 18, 19, or 20. And then up here you have the player card score, and playing the game you end up scoring cards, so you can get some of these cards, and you can get the, let's see, you can get the ace right there, and the king and queen are up there. So somehow as you're playing, your score advances or changes, and your object is to beat the dealer, and then you win some bonus or something. I'll have to read the instructions, and let me sit here and I'll hover over this for a while, and that'll give me a chance to read these when I get back home. So this should be a fun table to play around with. I've never worked on a Williams, so that should be interesting. But since we're going to rebuild it all from scratch anyway, it doesn't really make any difference. So anyway, should be a fun time. There is a little bit of wear on the play field. If you get close, you can see there's a little bit of wear, but more than likely we're just going to clean up this play field and clear coat it and call it a day, because it's in good enough shape that we don't think it's worth changing the play field. And the back glass is pristine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that back glass at all. And the sides are really crappy. They're all peeled off and stuff, and we'll vinyl those. And it should be a pretty nice looking machine when we get done with it. So we're going to get to work on the play field over there, putting lights on. I'll get you guys up on a tripod so you can watch. So before we get started, I wanted to point out a couple of things that we've been doing here. Mike worked a lot last week, and I showed you a little bit about this in the last video, but he's pretty much got the table put all back together. We had to shorten this metal on this run here to get it to fit, and so that it came out perfectly, and it all looks really good. We had to 3D print these little black pegs to fill these holes from the old set so we could install the Bally set, and that all came out and looks perfect. It's going to work great. So we're really happy about all of that. And so now we're going to turn the table over and we're going to start wiring up the lights just like we did on the back box last week. I'll put you guys in hyperlapse to watch that. I know I said I was going to start punching down wires, but I just wanted to show you this before I got started. If you can see, in that hole is a little piece of plastic cut off of this rod, and we're going to fill all these holes with plastic. You guys have seen us make these light pipes before. The last time we did it by turning it on our lathe with a cutoff tool. But we bought ourselves a little chop saw, and by little I mean really underpowered, weak, terrible little chop saw, Harbor Freight Special. But it will cut, and that one that's in there was cut on this. So while I am punching down the wires, Mike is going to be sticking these in there, and we put that clamp as a stop to stop us right where we need it to cut. And Mike, why don't you show them how strong this machine is by cutting one for us here?
Well, I moved the clamp a little, so it may not be quite right, but I'm going to make a mark now and measure and see where we are.
You got to hold that. It's not clamped in, the rod. Yeah. Really weak, but it does cut it, and it cuts it straight and fairly smooth. That actually looks smaller than the last one.
It might be. I don't know. I moved the clamp, like I said.
Okay, so anyway, Mike is going to be working on this. We're not going to film any more of that. I mean, it's going to be do that 100 more times just like that. So while Mike is working on that, he's going to check those out against these holes to see how well they fit. And we've had problems before when we tap these in that they hit the LEDs behind it and damage the LEDs. So we want to make sure that these are just a hair shorter than the LEDs.
So this is 6.8. The one you cut was 7.0.
Okay, so that's a little shorter. That's good. That's good. That sounds perfect. Okay, so I am going to get to work on this now. Okay, we stopped from doing the wiring a little bit to do some testing. We wanted to see how well these light pipes are working. And looking from where you're at, you can probably see that this digit looks all white. This LED looks all white, as does this one. And maybe this one looks a little white. You might see a little color. The rest of them all look like color. Now, to me, to my eyes, they all look exactly the same. But these are significantly brighter. Now, this has a piece of plastic that goes down and touches the LEDs. This one has a half-inch piece of plastic, so there's probably an 1/8-inch gap between the bottom end of this plastic and the LEDs. And this is just a 1/4-inch wafer stuck out here at the top. We just wanted to see if that made a difference. And indeed it does. This is the brightest. This is a little less bright, and that is even less bright. But what we were looking at was how this affected the look coming through a glass. So we're using this Translight just because we have it available. And when you look at that, and I'm not sure how this looks on the camera, I might move you up closer. I'm going to move you up closer. I think you'll be able to see. So right now, this light is directly over the brightest light. I'm going to put it, the brightest light is right here, and you can see kind of how that light is nicely distributed. Now, if I go to just a regular light, I'm not sure you can see it, but you can actually see two circles with shadows around them because there's two LEDs in each of these holes. So without this lens, let's see, can I see it? I can kind of see it. Mike, would you turn the light out, please? See if that makes a difference. Whoa, over blue for a second there. Well, that is really interesting. But I think you can see it. You can definitely see that there's a piece of light there, and there's a second piece of light there. When I put that over here, you can't see that. So that lens is making that look a lot better. And we have decided that for ease of production and safety,
Saving material.
if we make these rods too long and we hit the LED in the back when we're pounding it in, it breaks the LED. So we're going to go with the shorter one, which is this one right here. And believe me, it does not look like you're seeing it here with these bright spots. When we're seeing it, it's all nice and smooth and evenly distributed. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So you guys have watched me long enough, so I'm going to let you watch Mike install some of these lights in the back box while I continue running the wires on the playfield.
So put it on.
I'm going to have to quit. Our time is up today. I managed to get the signal wire and the ground wire run. I've got the power wire there, but I haven't had a chance to run it. We've been doing odds and ends, different things. Had to do a lot of corrections and stuff on here. I've broken a few connectors. Typical, it's just slow work, and you just got to do it. So, so anyway, Mike is just about done with putting the lights in here. And so next week, hopefully we can finish this wiring and then start putting this table together. Of course, we do still have the vinyl work to finish down here. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm probably going to do this 2 weeks in a row of filming and then putting one video together, because the content just doesn't change fast enough to make an interesting video if you film it every week. So see you in a week or two. Thanks for watching.